Premier League is back. As I dey laugh, now so other men they laugh because now we are now back to business. There are people that would bet. There are too many things that comes with the hearing of football, and to shock you, even women now are not included. And the Premier League is back again, and with too many anticipation, too many rules. There are too many rules created already in the Premier League. If you waste time as your goalkeeper in his 18-year box, holding the ball, you don't hold it more than 8 seconds. One idea, yeah. And if you hold the ball more than 8 seconds, what is given is straight corner, and you know what that happens in Premier League. Corner is one of like the most dangerous, set pieces to give you a goal. And too many. Or but with time we'd get used to them and all of that. Liverpool started this campaign, on Friday night against Bournemouth, and that was some crazy match. I wouldn't lie for you. With the likes of the debutants, Etitike, Frimpong, Ferran Wirtz, and Ketes of Bournemouth. That was some crazy match. It ended 4-2. Ekitike made his debut in an astonishing way because I never expected him from him, because I was one of the people that was saying, this guy, does he worth this amount? Though it's too early to judge, but I was one of these guys that was like, is this guy worth this amount and all of that? But he proved some real prospects that day, and I was really happy with his performance. He got the first goal, created the second goal for Gakpo, and he went there and there. Bournemouth came back into the game with Semenyo. Semenyo had an issue that very day at Anfield. There was this old man. People do get wahala. Semenyo is a black guy, and there was this old man at one of the stadium side. There was a racist abuse, and that got to him. And if you watch that match, you notice there was some pause at the point where the referee came close and called the two coaches, and I don't know what he was saying at that point. And Semenyo had the 2 goals that got them back in the game, 2-2. But Bournemouth lost concentration. Liverpool are the champions, and they show that they want to compete this season again. And that was a nice one. It ended 4-2. And Salah, record breaker. Salah has scored in the last 10 opening games in the Premier League. That is huge. Nobody has done it. He's the only player that has had double figures in opening Premier League season. Only Salah, Mohamed Salah, the Egyptian king. And going forward, we had the likes of the matches, Newcastle versus Aston Villa. It ended in 0-0-0. Like, people will play a game last week. I'm sorry. Chelsea, champions of the world. Champions of the world meet community of the world. Crystal Palace is not a small team. I was telling some Chelsea fan that match would, be much of a challenging match. And, there were some lights to take from that match. Gustavo, you can see Premier League is not smiling. Once you're too good, they will double 3-3 on you. Ask Salah and Co, Saka and all of them. If you're not too good, now 3-3-4-4, they will owe you. And within the meeting time, Gustavo came into Chelsea to come up. I could see that, the whole thing was, they're marking 3-3 and blah. This boy just come on alarm, making show, and that match ended 0-0. And one of the rules played in that match where AZ played a close free kick, and people would ask, why did they cancel that free kick? Why was that free kick cancelled? The new rules is you don't move from your meter. You don't move away from where you're standing in the wall. So Guehi moved away, and people were thinking it was the push here. He pushed Casedo. No, it wasn't the push. He moved away from the meter that the referee gave for the free kick, and it was hard to cancel. And that game was not looking like a game. Chelsea, I know you can do better. Like Kopama posted afterwards, it's a marathon. So you know what that means. And me, I expect much from Chelsea. I know from their next match, they'll be kicking it, running and all of that. The match ended 0-0 at Stamford Bridge around 2 Sunday. And the next match that was the most talked, though, before I go to that match, everybody wants to hear. Tottenham, the European League winners, won 3-0 and that was some good match. Richarlison had 2 goals, and Brenda Johnson had his goal too. And that Thomas Frank looks like a manager that would change things for Tottenham with the pattern and all I'm seeing. And Eze is being linked to Tottenham, so let's see how that goes. And I expect Tottenham to really put up a fight this season and all of that. And going forward again, Pep Guardiola side, people just they forgetting that there is a man in Premier League, the only man that has done it 4 times in a row. We were all talking of, see Arsenal players, see Man U players, Chelsea they sign, Liverpool they sign. We can't forget, say, we get OTKs, we get levels. You know what that means? Pep is still there in the game, and you saw what happened against Wolves. Away game, 4-0, clean slate. That was clean. Nothing. Alan would normally put up a goal scoring, and that was all. Like 2 goals. There is this Reginald. 2 debut signing had to perform very well that day against Wolves. Reginald and Jackie. That is. Hope I'm correct with that name. That guy look like a Nigeria guy. I'm not interested. That guy, Reginald. That guy. The way he plays, I feel Man City had gotten a gem, and that's something to talk about. Jackie too came into the second half and he had the last goal, and 4-0, clean sheets, everywhere is good. Moving forward, the match of the moment in the opening day, we had a Super Sunday that hosted Manchester United versus Arsenal. This match, even till now, people are crying. Why? What is the cry about? Yes, I'm an Arsenal fan, but people will say, see, some of the times we have to be real with how we do these things. Before, you would say, okay, now people are calling Arsenal the dark arts kind of football club, and we play rough pattern, we don't come out to play, we don't play beautifully well. Oh, please. Should I take you back to Arsene Wenger era where we would have 75% of the ball possession and we'll still lose? Not by 1 goal, not even by 2. Beautiful nonsense. That's what I call it. So now I am more in particular. Yes, I can really tell you that Arsenal weren't on their best, but they are positive to take from that. We weren't on our best that day, but we took the 3 points. We didn't draw. Clean sheet. Manchester United didn't score. Manchester United was the better team. I don't lie. I was happy with what I saw with Mbeumo, Cunha, some slight, though I didn't have to get much from Sesko, but I know Sesko would, have some effects. And, I could see Bruno Fernandes getting that realization again, doing his thing and all of that, This season, nobody's small for Premier League. Sunderland came in and Sunderland 3-0 already. Xhaka and Jingra and all of them are there. So nobody is small this season. And, I always say, give me your top 4. The season has already kicked off. Give me your top 4. And we have this fantasy team. Give me your first 11, teams that you'd always hope to perform every week. Now the game has started. We are at the game 1, going to game 2, So Leeds 2 was the last game. Leeds hosted Everton and it ended 1-0, So give me your view about what you think about Arsenal match, because people are still crying, Man U fans are still crying that we played dirty, that the goal wasn't supposed to stand, and please. If you want to talk about the goal not standing, then you talk about Cunha holding Zubimendi. So in either ways, if they cancel the goal, there have been a penalty. So either ways, Arsenal deserved the goal. But if Arsenal deserved the winning, another story for another day. You get to some heights that you have to win. That's what big clubs do. You have to win, no matter the circumstances. And I know Arsenal will only get better. So the fans, Arsenal fans, getting worried to say, this performance was shaky and I don't really trust it. Don't worry. From Leeds match, you see that beautiful game. In some games, coming to Old Trafford, your first game, that is huge, Yeah, and finally, before I leave, give me your top 4 prediction. I've always asked about that, your top 4 prediction. This is the season, like I said, the transfer summer is still on, and I know it will be ending soon. So give me your top 4 prediction and your top scorers. Who do you think will be in the top 4 scorers of the season? There are too many players in. Haaland normally will be there. Gyökeres, too many things to talk about. Many doubts at the end of the day. John Pedro, Dilap, Sesko is there. Isaac is still there. Etitike is there. Salah would always be there. So too many to talk about. So give me a top four prediction for who's going to stay at the top four and top four scorers, please. And we have a prize. That's where the beauty lies. We have a prize, and who knows, might be a car. Who knows, might be a trip to your favorite stadium to watch your team play live. We have a prize. Please follow through, and I still remain your host, Emmanuel Ezefla. Thank you very much.